welcome back to Better Every Day. I am your co-host, Bianca.
And I'm John, the other co-host. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, and today we are here with a flexibility, recover, and wellness professional, Sherief Barnes. And we're going to get to know a little bit more about you and everything that you do because it's more than just what I have on paper. So, let's get to it.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
But
Nice to meet you.
Here. Yes.
More familiar with Miss Bianca, of
Yeah.
course. But nice to meet you too.
Yeah, we go way back, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
It's
ma'am.
been a
We do.
while.
It has, but I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
Very grateful.
So we could all use some flexibility in our life, for sure.
Yes, sir.
Regardless of what age you are, but as you get older, things tend to tighten up a little bit. It's a little harder to get out of bed in the morning and get rolling. So what got you excited about stretching and all that? How did you get into this profession? And
Stretching specifically was more recent. My background is in massage therapy. But honestly, I was going through a kind of a hip impingement that I had, and I was searching for the right chiropractor or just the right professional to get me going. And I was in a lot of pain. It was kind of prohibiting my sleep as well. It was actually affecting my relationship I was in. It was a lot. So I was on the journey in the search to find, just the right professional to fix my issue. And I go to a chiropractor, I won't mention his name, but he was next to a stretch zone in the same plaza in Summerlin. And so as a massage therapist, this is my first time approaching a business like that. They were closed, but you could see inside, and there was like 4 seemingly massage tables, but with straps and belts around the table. And I was like, you can imagine this was 2018, so I'm like, what is that?
right.
And they offer on the window a free first-time consultation and stretch, just to see if you like it type deal. And so I signed up. Still went to my chiropractic session that day, but I did sign up for the free session and just to see how it was, and I was sold. After the first warm-up stretch, it was just a really quick warm-up they do, and then they get into the actual straps and belts. But yeah, he get like 1 or 2 moves, and I was like, sign me up. This is exactly what I needed. So I ended up becoming a member there for a few months, and then that turned into employment for me. They were looking for employment. It's kind of a turnaround type of business. They give you 6 months, and I signed up to be an employee, and the rest was history from there.
Yeah. And that's where we reconnected because I also signed up.
That first time trial, it'll
Yeah.
get you in there at least.
Yeah, it was great. So it was worth it in the end.
So we're all massage therapists.
Yes.
So for those who are listening, what's the difference between traditional massage therapy and stretching?
Well, I have my theories. I was massaging people for years, and I wasn't getting the results that I get after 1 or 2 stretches.
Okay.
I have loyal clients. They love me, mostly like aunties and cousins, but they love me. They love my massage, but they would be back in pain a day or 2 later, and not complaining about the service, but more so just how can they get out of that repetition or whatever they're putting themselves through. I found that learning more about fascia, learning more about energetics, learning more about stretching really gave me a better foundation to help them, and then they get rewarded with a massage.
Right.
So I say the massage is more so the burrito the final wrap that you put after you've done the work, after you've done working out, chiropractic work, maybe some dry needling or acupuncture, stretching, of course, and changing some routines in your day-to-day as well. And then you go get a massage, because the massage is then more rewarding than to say, oh, I'm waking up, I'm in pain, I go get a massage. But you haven't done any of those modalities that kind of build up to a massage. So it's like more of a reward after you've done all the hard work.
That's very supportive of the whole person, and that's what we're here for. We want to be able to walk and
and jump,
get out of bed in the morning,
and get out of bed,
and jump, and go in the garage and reach, and just not even think about it. And so I found that stretching was more of injury prevention than anything, and people just felt like they were getting more out of it, and they were coming back a little faster than say the once a month massage that they get. They're coming back in a week or 2.
Yeah.
to get their stretch.
Perfect. Well, we kind of jumped right in and started talking right about stretching, and
Yes.
we're massage therapists and we're
We want to
familiar,
rope everybody
but
in right away.
right away.
Yeah.
So
we're here, we're handling business.
we're gonna backtrack a little bit,
Okay.
because we started talking with or about the stretch zone and signing up and everything, but you've branched off and you've done your own thing, and that's really what I know and that we're here for. I want to pull that out and let's grab you that way, because we'll have viewers and listeners from all over. I don't know that there's a stretch lab or I stretch you
A studio.
everywhere, but it's something that our viewers should seek out. And so having you here as the expert here in Vegas, we know where you can go. So tell us a little bit more about your business and how you branched off and from being an employee to being a business owner.
Yeah, no. So with those companies, they're a franchise. They have a protocol. They're pretty limited in what they can offer. I found myself diving into doTERRA's avenue, where it's like a herbal essential oil, and they have a lot of healing benefactors. So I would bring in some of my oils to Stretch Zone and my massage gun. I just started bringing all these little tidbits in, and because I could see how it was beneficial to add on to the stretch. And it wasn't causing a stir or anything, but I definitely felt limited in what I could do or say to people based on the insurance,
Right.
of course,
Yeah.
and them protecting themselves as a business. So, and then also it was kind of a speed trap in there. So they'll get you in there, get you all buttered up, but then they only give you 27 minutes, technically. They'll say it's 30 you're paying for. But they're on us about it. Like, hey, you're taking too much time with each client, each guest, and we need you, rapid fire with these people. Stretch them, get them out, stretch them, get them out. And I stretched a very dear friend who was in a lot of pain, and I had to put her through that same protocol, and she's like, ugh. Like, I don't like this. Like, I need more time. I need to breathe. I need to realize what just happened to my body.
Yeah.
So she was like my last client of the day, so I, just let her kind of get settled on the table after I stretched her. But that was kind of my wake-up call. Like, I need more time with these people. A lot of my clients, I had some clients with unfortunate injuries and lifelong injuries, and they need more time. They need more care. They need more attention.
Right.
So that was kind of my base of just stepping out on my own. It wasn't hard feelings with the company, but me as a healer, I just wanted more time with my clients, and I didn't want to be limited. Even if I say our stretches are an hour, I might need an hour and 5 minutes, or 45-minute stretches. I need maybe 50 minutes or 55, and I don't want to be.
Would you say companies like that are really good for like exposing people to new modalities? Because I mean, we talk about that a lot, and there are those franchise companies which we know about, and there's definitely some potential pitfalls to working with a corporate entity that's got a very structured way of doing things. But at the same time, it's like they're bringing people in and they're introducing them, whether it's a massage franchise or a stretch franchise or even the chiropractor franchises.
Yeah.
It's like they're very limited, but it seems to me, because I see a lot of clients that then kind of graduate out of those franchises and say, no, I want more, like what you're hearing. So would you agree with that?
It brought us in. It brought me in, definitely.
Nice.
I was curious. We made jokes about it, like, oh, this is like 50 Shades of Stretch because of the straps and the belts.
Yeah.
So, your mind wanders, and then you get the experience. You're like, oh, this is actually really good. But they have to make their money too. So yeah, it brings you in, and it shows you how you're not moving, you're not stretching, and then they do have educated peoples in there who are trying to explain what you can do better and give their education to it. But then we all are differently educated. Some people are licensed professionals. Some people are licensed chiropractors that come in, and they're just trying to probably get their clientele up, or just kind of get a feel of Las Vegas that just moved here or something.
Sure.
And then they branch off into their own practice. So
Sure.
it happens a lot. But yeah, I do believe that it's a great gateway to get people in to try something new. People run from stretching, the idea of it. They'd rather go get a massage, or just go to Massage Envy, or go to their physical therapist, what they're familiar with.
Right.
So stretching is still like a niche
Potentially
thing.
painful.
Yeah, that's the first thing they think. Like, what do you mean stretch? And how much are you going to stretch me? And are you going to stretch me too much? And,
Right.
so it's a nice way to just get people in and see that it's not a bad idea, and you end up finding out that the person is doing all the work and you're getting all the benefit. You're just laying there getting stretched,
Yeah.
and so that brings people back, I believe.
It brought me back because I'm gonna tell you, I thought that I was gonna be at a level 10, and like all of my tendons would be like noodles on my way out,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be able to walk.
Ankles above your head.
Yeah.
All of that,
Yeah.
right?
Pushing her out, like just rolling her out.
Yeah. It was the opposite. I was okay after the first time, and quite honestly, I think that it had, like you were saying, long-term benefits, beyond just the workout, the massage, the chiropractor, putting all of that together did make me feel like a whole person.
There we go.
So,
I know Bianca came back to our studio that day, and she was very happy. She's like,
Better
"I'm
spirits."
stretched all over.
Right.
I feel amazing. So there's something to it. All right,
it
so,
is a good thing.
So you got us intrigued by all the straps and the table and all that. So we might need to explain to our listeners
Yeah.
what all that means. So what happens when you go through a stretch procedure?
Well, they offer like a very Stretch Zone specifically has a protected, licensed. The word is escaping me right now. Sorry, I just woke up.
Oh yeah.
But it's a licensed protocol that they have where they invested in a pelvic strap.
Okay.
It goes over the pelvic floor, and then some additional Velcro straps that kind of hold down the legs as you're moving one side of the body or the other. Now, Stretch Lab and these other places, they don't have those proprietary options because they're not licensed under that. They didn't go through the licensure, I'm sure. So they would have to. They just have tables normally. Normally, it's just a table, and people are just Stretch Med is a new one out here in North Las Vegas. I tried them out too. So they implement more exercise into the stretch.
Okay.
But everyone has their little modalities. But as far as the straps, I invested in my own because I did see the benefit and the difference. More clients would go try Stretch Lab without the belts and the whistles, and they would come to Stretch Zone and I have to come back because that one strap is helping me lay flat and stay still and keeping my pelvic floor on the table versus people lifting me and moving me around, and I don't feel as secure on an elevated surface.
Right.
I'm getting stretched and pulled around. So that was a very significant choice for me as well, to invest in my own straps so that I can, provide a similar service but implement my own education in it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
But yeah, it's like a seatbelt situation. The big one, it straps around the waist, and then the little Velcro ones are kind of just like buckles. I invested in Amazon. They have different bands you can wrap around your massage table. I'm sure you've seen the big stretchy bands. You can slide a leg under there.
Yep.
So things.
I'm imagining Hannibal Lecter
Yeah.
all strapped down into
Yep.
a dolly.
Yeah,
Is it
one
like
body
a new
part
experience?
at a
Is it
time.
like that, or is it?
Yeah, they take out one body part at a time.
Slide it out, stretch it, put it back in. Yeah. Yeah.
It works. What
Yeah,
can we
yeah.
say?
Yeah, it's good. It's really
Obviously,
good.
the goal is you're isolating just the muscles that you're working on at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the nervous system isn't worried about, well, what's next and what's this, what's that, because you're kind of strapped down into the table.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and you're letting them do the work. Like, that's the biggest thing. Because a lot of times, even in massage, you'll find people want to help, lift the leg or maybe go a little to the left, and it's all of that kind of stuff. But when you're in somebody's care that is literally there to take care of you, it makes a huge difference. And with that, I'll say for me, it wasn't just a physical relief. It was also an emotional and a mental wellness that I had, putting it all together. Like, I'm really taking care of me. Like, good for me. Because some days are better than others. I'll put it that way. So I want to ask, I know that was my experience, but do you know or have you noticed any mental health or emotional wellness benefits from stretching or from your clients?
Oh yeah, it coincides. It goes in and out of it. It wouldn't be a stretch if I didn't go into, the mental health and the emotional health and spiritual health in some cases if they're open to it. Especially with the oils, they kind of open up, different traumas and just overall samskaras is what we kind of call them too, from childhood and middle-aged hood, where we've created a mess for ourselves, and we're trying to figure our way out of it.
Yeah.
And
I'm digging.
right, yeah. And so with the stretch, of course, as you all three of us know, we hold and massage. We hold traumas in our hips and our fascia and our body.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to coincide. I can't tell you. I mean, as people are getting stretched, they're like, yeah, and I haven't talked to my mom in 10 years, and it's just coming out.
Yeah.
And so then like in that case, I would implement tea tree oil. It's the mother oil.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what company you get it from, tea tree is considered the mother oil, and I bring that in just slightly, just to open up, heal that mother wound, and healing that mother wound when they need that. Or if it's sleep, if they're sleep deprived, I'll bring in like Serenity and have that just in a diffuser. It'll just be kind of an offset thing that they don't even know that's happening. Yep. But I do explain it to them, like, hey, I do have breathe in there if you have lung stuff, or I have patchouli in there if they're dealing with anxiety. And I'll even add it on physically to the body, to the bottom of their feet, and kind of dilute it with a jojoba oil, of course. And they take that with them. And my biggest one is Deep Blue. It's like their Icy Hot and their Vicks mixed in one. That's my COVID killer.
Without the old lady smell.
It's old man. It's that menthol in there. You're gonna smell like the hospital, but you won't care because it's.
Remember to go to my grandmother's house. The whole house always smelled like that.
Yeah.
Well, now we know why.
Yeah, exactly.
But she was moving
around, so
it's healing. It's healing stuff. Yeah. So I rubbed that on the back of my lungs during the whole COVID thing. I didn't experience any. I did experience loss of smell when I went to Atlanta, but I had no COVID symptoms. None of that. The stuff is really powerful. So I rubbed it on my lungs, in the back of my lungs, my partner's lung. Anybody I can get around, like, you need this on you.
Yeah.
Because it was stopping some stuff, it was preventing some stuff, and it was helping people who were already feeling congested and dealing with those lung issues. So
I really love that you're combining the whole holistic approach to the stretch and all of that. We have a lot more to talk about. For those of you who are just joining us, we're here with Sherief Barnes today. She's a stretch expert, but also a massage therapist and aromatherapy expert, an all-around amazing holistic healer. And we're going to get more in depth with this conversation, but we're going to take a quick break and say thanks to our sponsors for today's show.
The Showgirl Legacy Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to preserving the historic significance of the iconic showgirl as a performing artist. We achieve this through curriculum-based educational programs in partnership with the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts. The program includes a panel of entertainers and showgirls modeling authentic costumes for the visual arts students to paint. The students submit their artwork to the Showgirl Art Competition that becomes the annual Showgirl Art and Costume Exhibit. The foundation also represents guest speakers that give historical presentations about the Las Vegas Stage Show Spectaculars and their personal experiences. The speaker brings authentic show costumes for photo ops and tailors their presentations for conferences, conventions, luncheons, museums, and other venues. Recently added to the Foundation's repertoire is the talk show The Showgirl Connection with your host, Luann. She interviews former and current showgirls, dancers, entertainers, and all the people behind the scenes that make the magic happen. The Showgirl Connection wouldn't be possible without the partnership and support of WWDBTV and owner John Stiles. Learn more about us at showgirllegacy.org and castandcrewreunion.com. For questions, email us at info@showgirllegacy.org.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Better Every Day. We've got a really cool guest here today. Sherief is involved in a lot of really cool things. She's definitely a healer, massage therapist, but she's gotten involved with stretching, aromatherapy, and now we're going to start talking about some of the benefits of all of those modalities put together. We started to talk about emotional health, and so what we talk about on the show a lot is the pillars of wellness, which we all know are nutrition, self-care, movement, emotional health. So with that, what kind of benefits do you see when you get people on the table and starting to stretch and maybe move ways that they haven't moved in a long time, if ever?
Well, one I do see is a bit of a confidence change in a lot of people, especially people who weren't as athletic or it's been a while since they were out there moving around. I definitely see just a change in their whole demeanor sometimes, even in that 45-minute session. I've taken before and after pictures, and when they come in, it's just kind of like a darkness almost, an unsurety, and then they leave, and the picture is like their face is bright and they're shiny, and it's just a subtle difference that the naked eye wouldn't automatically notice.
Sure.
Kind of those before and after makeup photos. But also outside of that, I noticed people's ability to move around better. They're just happier when they're with their grandchildren, crawling around the floor. Getting out there on the golf course.
Yep.
Some of my gentlemen, they love that their swing is getting better. Sometimes in the bedroom, the men and the women, or the hips are looser.
Yeah.
If we can go there.
Absolutely.
I've saved a marriage or two. I've been
bet
told.
you have.
Nice.
There's a gentleman who's just having back problems, and he's really tall. Used to play in the NBA.
Okay.
And he's like, my wife is tired of me crying about my back. And stretched him for a while, and he came back. He's like, I'm just coming back just to get stretched. Like I really don't need it as like I used to, but you still need that upkeep a little bit in the maintenance of it. I've noticed, just people's relationships gotten better with themselves. They've more internalized a lot of their issues instead of blaming the external factors of life, and considering, how they've created the mess that they're in.
Right.
Whether it be physical, emotional, spiritual. So.
No, we talked about my issue before. Have a thing for emotional support French fries.
Okay.
So,
I'm down. I'm about to go get
And
some.
there is a Wendy's
I'm
right
about to
around the
get
corner
some.
from the studio.
Yeah.
So
It's a thing.
they
Yeah.
know her name once a week.
I mean, I do what I can.
You're right.
Maybe I should include more stretching.
But we talk about that, and it's just as important to reward yourself too.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to completely cut everything out of your life.
Oh,
because
yeah.
if you don't have joy,
Yeah, no,
What's
we
the
need
point?
the joy. We have to do
Yeah.
what we're willing to do.
Right.
That's number one. My yoga, practice a lot of hot yoga. I go
Okay.
like 4 or 5 times a week. And, they're all hippy dippy. They get really deep and spiritual. But one of the sessions after, she's just like, do what you're willing to do. Yes, you have a time frame and you have a goal and all that. But that first step is usually the hardest one. And if you create that in your mindset, you know what, I'm going to do what I'm willing to do, not what I have to do. Or I'm doing what I get to do, not what I have to do. Or I get to go and do this. I get to go and take care of this. There's people around the world who don't have that opportunity.
Right.
So just having that mindset shift definitely helps.
So we talked a little bit about maintenance. So after you've gone for a couple stretches, let's say there was something that they needed to do at home, or what's the homework that you would give somebody in between sessions with you?
Yeah, no, it's based on, it's individually based, of course, and what they're capable of as well. Some of my people are on walkers, some of my people are running triathlons in Hong Kong. So it just depends on who I'm working with. And some of them already have their own routines where they just need a little extra push where they're not involved mentally and physically in the stretch. Some people are like, I'm not doing it at all, so I need you to do it.
Yeah. Hands off.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm here for everyone in between. And as far as the maintenance, I will almost always go for strengthening. Almost always to do some sort of strengthening exercise, because that's kind of the medicine that we don't want to take is lifting weights, lifting our own body weight. Sometimes that's the issue, and while I'm stretching them, they're like, "Oh, well, this hurts so bad." And I'm like, "Well, it's because it's a weak muscle," and the antidote for that is strength. Not necessarily a stretch. Like the stretch will help; it'll feel good, but you still need to go out there and strengthen it. So I encourage them, especially right before they come in. I encourage them to do a nice exercise, whatever their routine is. And if they need one, I come up with one. just pull something off of YouTube that's basic, something that I'm familiar with. It's usually something I've told 100 people. Or if I've learned something new in a yoga class, and they're willing to try, and a lot of them have background in yoga, they want to get back into it. I'll show them, hey, there's a list of poses I want you to do. I want you to do them in this order. I want you to end in Savasana, because that's what we're building up to in yoga anyway, is to lay there flat and relish in our stillness.
That's my favorite yoga pose.
Trust our stillness. And
Yoga nidra all day over here.
Yes, I love yoga. Shout out to my yogis out there.
Yes.
But yeah, it's it depends on what they're capable of doing as well. But usually just basic stuff. If they're elderly, I'll give them like a chair pose or some chair exercises to do. Or I'll have them start their day with a qigong, like a Korean exercise where the centurions or the 100-year-old human beings, they have their routine where they do their moves, and they have everyday exercises, Tai Chi movement, and it's just beneficial to the heart, it's beneficial to the mind, the body, the spirit, of course. So yes, it comes in different varieties, but I definitely have to implement because I only see them once a week. Right. Sometimes twice a week if they're ambitious about their stretches and they have a goal in mind. But yeah, we definitely have to throw in the little here's and there's, or right before, if they don't do their homework, then I'll have to take that 5 minutes that I need, the extra 10 or 5 minutes that I need that I don't get from other companies, to say, hey, I know your session's 45 minutes, but this might be an hour today because I need to do a post interview and I need to do a pre exercise. So it'll be like a resistant band or something they might need for their shoulders, something I can just do really quick where I'd say we're tricking the muscle into thinking you've just done an exercise. Right. But it's usually just like a very pressurized move where the muscle's pumped up, and then I get into the stretch while the muscle is activated and pumped up, and it thinks it just did a little bit of work.
So I wouldn't necessarily get an F for the day.
No, no Fs.
Okay.
But you should go to the dean's office.
I might.
Maybe only A's and B's around here.
Okay, I'll take that.
So I know you guys have heard this, and I talk a lot with my clients about it, that one of the tests for longevity is how low you can squat. And also if you can get up off the floor without using your hands.
It's a big deal.
And when I tell my clients, whether they're 20-somethings or 70-somethings, they look horrified at the thought of trying to get off the floor without using your hands. And it's tough. It's tough. But, we know it all comes from core strength. And I would imagine stretching has a lot of benefits for that.
Oh, yeah. I was explaining that to a client, and he tried it, oh my gosh, on the bare floor. He busted his knee, and I'm like, why'd you do that? But they just want to know where they are. But I explained to him the same thing, like if you're on your knees, if you can pop up, or at least just stand up without having to struggle. It's a good little exercise to see where you're at.
I try to use like one finger. So at least I'm getting that. But people always ask me like, how is that so? And it's like, as humans, we're actually built to squat. Before chairs and toilets, we had to squat to sit down, to do tasks, to eat,
to deliver
to
children,
go to the restroom, to deliver children, all of those things.
The squatty potty exists.
It's real.
Well, as great as it is to sit in a chair and it's very comfortable for us, it's just not our natural.
Over time, we've adapted to that.
And so we've locked up our pelvis, our hips, where we've become so tight, and then we've not kept our core muscles
not
as strong
relying
as
on the
they
core.
need to be.
Everything's in front of us. Computers, driving. We get that kind of rounded shoulder thing.
And we're in protection as well, spiritually. A lot of that rounding, you'll see people are protecting the heart chakra. And it's especially like in the corporate world, my corporate ladies and gentlemen, they come in like this and they don't lift weights. But they're, they're guarded.
Shoulders.
They're a little guarded. And
For
so we do like, the chest openers and just kind of do any of those opposites.
Right. So if somebody's in Vegas, obviously we know a great stretch person to go see. If you're not in Vegas, what should a person look for when they're looking for a stretch facility or a stretch professional?
I would definitely base it on your preference. If you guys are wanting something a little more fast-paced and a harder work, try to find something that is yoga-based, but maybe hot yoga. I'm always going to suggest hot yoga. But if it's something more slowed down, maybe a qigong, brain and body, tai chi kind of space, where it's just at your level, at your physical level. Just find something that fits. Find something that fits. There's not there's franchises all over. There's people
Sure.
that have little mom and pop businesses as far as stretching and healing.
Right.
So doing the research helps. I stumbled upon the stretch zone on my own, going to a chiropractic
Right.
facility, but I'm sure I would have found it because of the advertisement. It's just data mining now at that point. As soon as you say, "Oh, I need a stretch," then you look at your phone and all the options
Yep.
come up. So look in your phone as well as
Exactly.
the advertisement.
Especially after this episode, for sure.
But,
after
just-
watching it.
Yeah, absolutely. But also just to take everything else off the table, YouTube, Pilates, and then a stretch. So I always encourage to do a nice workout before you stretch, before a dynamic stretch.
To warm up your muscles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Static stretching is kind of like what we're used to, that count to 10,
Mm-hmm.
count to 10, and you're just in that one space. With what I do specifically is considered dynamic stretching, so we kind of build up to a deep stretch. So we'll start light, medium, and then deep.
Yep.
And that is just peanut butter to the jelly of working out. So all my athletic clients, they can't live without the stretch because they've built up all the stuff from working out, and
Yep.
then they come in and get stretched, and it just kind of seals the deal for them.
Yeah, a little recovery.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, beautiful recovery, injury prevention, all the good stuff.
So obviously, I mean, a lot of athletes are trained to stretch before any kind of practice or game or whatever they're doing. Important, and I think more and more weekend warriors, the same thing, they know. And we see a lot of injuries for people who don't stretch or stretch a very limited amount.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that by being assisted stretching, which is what we're talking about, having somebody help you stretch, you probably learn stretching techniques better than if you were on your own, just watching a YouTube video.
Oh yeah, and that is the give and take. Because I see a lot of like CrossFit options or just new age stretching, and they'll just put it out there, and then the average Joe will try it. They're like, "Oh, that was terrible," or "I injured myself." So teaching form is huge, even down to when it comes down to yoga. For me, if my yoga teacher isn't based on being intentional about the form and the breathing, then I probably won't take the class again, because they aren't going from the root of it all, which is the breath work, which
Sure.
is breathing, and then also proper form in and out of the pose, so that people aren't pulling hamstrings and
Right.
cursing yoga on their way out.
Right.
But yeah, it's major part of my belief system in stretching.
So speaking of what you believe in, what would you consider to be your favorite stretch to do, or maybe to tell people?
Like to do myself or to do on someone?
To do on someone.
Well, it's a very specific stretch I do. It's a spinal twist. And you can imagine they're all strapped up. Their legs are tied down, the pelvic floor is tied down, and the only thing is free is the upper half. And I'm doing like a pull across. So
Okay.
that is almost always the money grab, as they say in
Yeah.
So that must
business.
feel amazing.
Yeah. I'll take them through the warm up and all that, and then once their body's nice and warmed up, and they're strapped down, the legs are kind of still. I'm pulling them across here and there laterally, and they get a nice little relief in the hip and the low back, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's what I've been
The
looking
angels
for."
start singing.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how good it could feel.
Yeah.
Even in my imagination, I'm like, yeah.
She's
let's
gotten
do
that stretch.
I
Yeah,
have.
yeah. She's gotten this like a
Right.
bow and arrow kind
Yeah.
of pull, where I'm holding down one part of the body, pulling the other, and your body's just gives in to the stretch.
Absolutely.
I don't warn people about it. I sometimes I used to at the very beginning, 'cause I used to get so excited about it, but now I just kind of let it happen. And if they like it, they love it, and if they think it's great, they may say something, they may not.
Right.
But everyone's different when it comes to that. But that's usually my
Go-to.
grab. Yeah, where people are like, okay, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Love
got
that.
those money moves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I love
But
it.
for me
Yeah.
personally, if I'm doing a stretch, like yoga or something, I love the pigeon pose for the hips.
Mhm.
I'm working on like standing and handstands. I'm not there yet. I'm not that advanced yet, but yeah, just building on top of that, and stillness actually is. I had it's called the corpse pose. So the last pose of yoga the savasana or the corpse pose.
Yep.
And I was afraid of it at first because of the idea of being dead or being in a coffin. That was kind of the basis of corpse pose.
Sure.
But I was schooled on the benefit of it and why you do need to marry into your stillness as much as your asanas or your movement. And the whole buildup of yoga is to lay there flat and just receive what you just experienced. And I applied that to life. Even like, we're busy all day, we cannot wait to lay down. And that was kind of like how I had to look at it, not think of it in a morbid way, but more so in a beneficial way of like, well, this is your burrito at the end of the day. This is your Band-Aid. Like, okay, I've done the work. I've ran in traffic. I've taken care of business. I've done some physical stuff, mental, emotional, spiritual stuff. And now it's just time to lay there and soak it all in.
It's a great way to look at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Little rest.
I was scared of it at first. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, oh, God, what does this mean? But you're left alone. You're there with your thoughts. It's just you and your
always
thoughts.
a scary thing.
And you're battling. That's why. That's the depth of it. But they, of course, a good yoga teacher will tell you, say hello, greet your thoughts, tell them goodbye, and then get back to your breathing. Thank your thought.
Don't try to fight it.
Yeah, if it's a thought you need to, like, oh, don't forget to take the food out when you get home. Oh, thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then get back to your breathing.
And that's the same for, like, when you were saying earlier how traumas could come up or things could just kind of pop up in your head, even from stretching,
Oh, yeah.
I've just release something.
I've had some people break out into tears. It's emotional, and I have to be, just calm and patient and professional with them. But it definitely has happened. Some hip pops and some cranks, and then all of a sudden they're like, the waterworks.
What did you
come.
do?
Yeah, the waterworks come, and a thought probably came in, and it happens.
Yeah. I think any kind of body work, we see that.
Yes.
And for people to know that when that happens, it's completely a normal process, because
Absolutely.
your brain, your body, it's all interconnected, your gut, everything. And so when you start doing manipulation, start working with somebody, you're bound to trigger some thoughts, memories. It could be really happy memories. It could be something maybe traumatic that happened.
Right.
But that's all part of the release. That's a good thing. So in your own wellness journey, because our show is all about, you can tell, like, Bianca was going to ask this question. I beat her to it.
You did. Go for
They're
it.
playing rock, paper,
Like
scissors.
a married couple, like we can read each other.
I know.
Brains.
And I love you just the same.
I love you too. So, in your own wellness journey, if somebody's, because we're about getting better every day and taking little steps, and we realize, sometimes people are like, oh, I'm going to go lose a ton of weight, or I'm going to become an athlete overnight, or I'm going to become much more flexible, and you go from 0 to 60, often you fail. It's just too much, and you're just not used to that. So we encourage people to take those little steps every day to make yourself a little bit better.
Yeah.
Um,
What would you advise people? What's those baby steps that they can take to
Go for it.
So what helped me was a book, How to Do the Work. And in that book, I think her name is Dr. LaPera. And in the beginning of the book, she mentioned her way of handling something like that, which was making a small promise to yourself every day. And her small promise was, I'm going to start with a cup of water before I have my coffee. I'm going to just switch that up, because she's seen how coffee was kind of probably tearing her up or whatever.
Right.
And so that just opened up this whole world for me where I wasn't even doing that. And then so that started off my little one step at a time motion where I can trust myself. My nervous system can trust me in the brain because I'm actually following through with this promise that I made myself every day. And it's just a cup of water. It seems like something so small, or fixing your bed before you leave the bedroom. Making the bed, making it nice, so that when you come back, your brain and your mind kind of settles into the idea of laying down, and you don't have to, oh man, my bed's a mess after I just got in a car accident. Yeah. So making a small promise to yourself every day, and something that you probably normally wouldn't do, but something that will promote big change in the end.
Sure.
So I've graduated from the small cup of water to I start my day with a hot lemon every day. So a hot lemon water. Just half a lemon, some warm water. It doesn't have to be like tea hot, but it can be room temp. If I'm on the go or something, just a hot lemon water to alkalize the body and open up that digestive from the night before too.
Yeah.
So I'm giving myself time to digest after I drink my water. I don't rush out of the house.
Right.
And that's just that's like my little reminder for when I am conquering a bigger goal, that I can do that because I've built the trust. I've created trust in myself and my nervous system. To stay consistent on making those small promises every day.
Yeah.
A little baby promise. Nothing that's overwhelming. Like I said, cleaning the bed or making sure your dishes are done before you go to bed. Just something little
So you're not walking back to chaos.
Yeah. So you're not
Exactly.
walking back to chaos, or that you're creating trust for
Yeah.
yourself. Even if you're okay with chaos, some people aren't bothered by it.
True.
And but they have started a better relationship with themselves and their trust.
And I think you notice that once you start with those little habits, then they become ingrained, something that you look forward to. And if you don't do it, like a glass of water to start your day, then you feel like something's missing. But then that leads to another little step and another little step.
And I turned that into, okay, well, every time I go to work now, I'm going to do my mirroring. So I have a mirror and I have some affirmations next to my mirror. And I just, I sit in front of my mirror and I say my affirmations before my clients come in so that I'm spiritually prepared and protected and they feel safer as well. That I've done those things. They don't know I'm doing it, but they can feel energetically like I'm here, I'm ready, I'm intentional and present with them.
Walking into a wellness space, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So that has a lot to do with what we talk about, right? So the little things that help you get a little better every day, that's what's important. And so I think we're nearing the end of our show, but I do want to know if there was any last word of wisdom, or if there was just one little thing that you want to share about your business since we're here locally, or I know we'll have your information on the screen and available. We'll also be showing a little video of a stretch session.
Yes, ma'am.
And you in action. But for your final thoughts, anything you want to share before we go?
Well, I'll start with I'm very grateful to be here with you guys. It's been a pleasure. It's the first time doing something like this and just expressing wellness overall with like-minded individuals. But yeah, to the people who are listening, I definitely want to always encourage, leave it better than you found it. And you guys can decipher from there. But that is a hadith that I carry. I'm Muslim. My background, my belief system is in Islam. And it's a saying that we do, that we have, where you leave it better than you found it. So however that relates to you in life, I definitely want to put that message out there. But yeah, I'm working at the Body Spa as of now in Summerlin. And I'm sure you'll put all that information up, like you said.
You can follow on Instagram and all that good stuff.
Instagram, Stretch X Therapy, so you'll put that there.
Absolutely.
Because I have to explain it, because people, stretch therapy, there's an X in the middle to kind of separate the two words.
Right.
But yeah, follow me on there, and you can catch some videos, some client confessionals. Mostly that's what's on there. Just explaining their experience, and yeah, it's been a lovely ride.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for coming in. This was awesome.
Yes.
We didn't even really get into your background because we met with you being an artist and in the entertainment industry. So maybe we can have you back and we can talk a little bit more.
Yeah, we got a part two. I didn't get
Yeah.
to go into the roots and the depths of why I even got into healing versus entertainment. As I'm not a versus, but I kind of fell into both. But yeah.
No, we love those origin stories for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sherief.
Thank you, guys.
It's great having you here.
Yes, sir.
And we can both attest to the importance of stretching. It is something that should definitely be part of your wellness regime every day.
Absolutely.
To do on your own, but also
Should
go
be.
to assisted stretching, because that's where you're going to learn to do it correctly, and you're going to learn to maximize the benefits of stretching.
And you get that
you
burrito.
will feel amazing.
With the
like you're wrapped
burrito
in a
at the
burrito.
end.
Yes.
Exactly.
You gotta get that at
And
the
now
end.
I'm hungry. Thanks, guys.
Fries, burritos.
Yes, this is a wellness show. I have to keep telling myself
There's
that.
healthy burritos,
There's healthy
right?
fries. There's healthy
Absolutely.
burritos.
Black beans, right? Yeah, we're good. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us this week on Better Every Day. And as we always say, just take those little steps every day, and you'll find yourself getting a little better every day.
Every day.
Every
Look
day.
at that. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
we'll
you
see
guys.
you next time.
Bless. Absolutely.